I lost everything and lost my job, lost my business.
Well, I got in a car wreck, I lost my job, and then I lost my wife.
I had lost my apartment, my car, my job, pretty much my life. I had nowhere to go, so I came here because I knew people that didn't have any place to go, homeless people, and that they stayed out here.
There is not one homeless shelter in Palm Beach County. Therefore, by law, we can't be removed.
Los Angeles is burning under 110-degree heat, where concrete can scorch skin and survival depends on shade. Pools are full, air conditioners hum, and cold drinks spill over ice. But just miles away, people are collapsing on sidewalks with nowhere to escape. Last year alone, 1,400 homeless people died under the California sun. Now, pause. Because this same city spent $14 billion to end this crisis. $14 billion, and yet nothing changed. People are still outside, still suffering, still dying. So the question is simple: where did all that money actually go? This is not just about homelessness. This is about survival in extreme heat. Because summer changes everything. The sun doesn't just shine here, it punishes. Inside tents, temperatures cross dangerous limits, water disappears fast, and shade becomes life. One wrong hour can be the last. Now think about this. Billions were spent, plans were approved, programs were launched, but on the ground, nothing feels different. People are still outside, still exposed, still at risk. So today, we go deeper, following the money, uncovering the system, and asking the question no one can ignore. If billions were spent, why are people still dying in the heat? Make sure you watch this video till the end, because what we uncover next will change how you see this crisis. And if stories like this matter to you, subscribe to the channel and like the video. Chapter 1. Heat is not just weather, it's a death sentence. Los Angeles is not just hot in summer, it becomes dangerous. The kind of heat that doesn't just make you sweat, it drains you, slows you down, and eventually shuts your body off. On Skid Row, where thousands live without shelter, the temperature doesn't feel like 110 degrees, it feels worse. Because there is no shade, no airflow, and no escape. Daniel, a 47-year-old man, has been living on the sidewalk for nearly 4 years. Last summer, he says, was different. The heat didn't come in waves. It stayed. His tent, made of thin plastic and worn fabric, trapped the sun like a sealed oven. By midday, the inside temperature became unbearable, crossing what doctors consider survivable limits. He tried everything, pouring water on his clothes, sitting still, breathing slowly, but even that stopped working after a few hours. The water ran out. The air felt thick. His body started to give up. He remembers feeling dizzy, confused, like the world was slowing down around him. That's what heat stroke does. It doesn't warn you loudly, it quietly takes over. Outside his tent, the concrete was so hot it could cause burns. Sidewalks in Los Angeles can reach nearly 70 degrees, hot enough to damage skin within seconds. Daniel says he could feel the heat through his shoes. At night, there was no relief. The ground released all the heat it absorbed during the day, turning the street into a slow cooker. Sleep wasn't rest, it was risk. If I sleep too long, he said, I might not wake up. And he's not alone. Thousands of people are living this exact reality every single day of summer. No cooling, no protection, just survival. Now think about this. While Daniel was fighting to stay alive in extreme heat, the city of Los Angeles was spending billions of dollars to solve homelessness. Not millions, billions. So the question becomes impossible to ignore. If all that money was being spent at the same time Daniel was nearly dying on the sidewalk, why didn't it reach him? And if it didn't reach him, where did it go? Chapter 2, $14 billion, but what did it actually build? The number sounds unreal, not millions, not even hundreds of millions, but $14 billion. That's how much Los Angeles committed to solving homelessness over the past few years. On paper, it looks like one of the biggest investments any city has ever made into this crisis. Big promises were made, emergency plans were announced. Leaders said this would finally change everything, that people would come off the streets, that lives like Daniel's would be different. But when you step away from the headlines, the reality feels very different, because while billions were being approved, the streets didn't empty. They expanded. Encampments stretched longer. Tents became permanent. And the summer heat kept getting worse. So what exactly did $14 billion build? Some of it went into permanent housing, apartment-style units designed to give people a stable place to live. But here's where it becomes hard to ignore. Many of these apartments cost between $500,000 to $600,000 per unit. That means a single building with just 100 apartments could cost around $50 to $60 million. Land prices were high. Construction costs increased. Delays pushed everything further. And while those buildings were slowly being completed, thousands of people were still outside, waiting under the sun. At that pace, the numbers stopped making sense. Because with $14 billion, you would expect a fast, visible transformation. You would expect streets to clear. You would expect people to move indoors quickly. But that didn't happen. Instead, only a limited number of units were finished each year. And time kept moving forward. Now think about Daniel again. He doesn't need a $500,000 apartment someday. He needs relief right now. Shade right now. Water right now. So here's the question that starts to break everything open. If billions were spent on housing, why does it take years to deliver it? And what happens to everyone still waiting, while the money is already gone? Chapter 3, Temporary Help, but No Way Out. When the crisis started getting worse, the city needed fast solutions. Not years, not decades, days, weeks. So billions of dollars were pushed into temporary programs, emergency shelters, bridge housing, converted hotels, short-term beds with air conditioning. On the surface, it looked like progress. People were moved indoors, out of the sun, out of the heat, for the first time in months. Some could sleep without fear of overheating. Cold water, shade, a controlled environment. For many, it felt like survival had finally become possible. But then, something happened. The system didn't continue forward, it circled back. Because these programs were never designed to be permanent. They had limits, time limits, funding limits, capacity limits. So when those limits were reached, people were pushed out, back to the same streets, back to the same sidewalks, back into the same heat. Imagine this for a second. You escape 110-degree heat, you get a bed, you get safety, you start to recover. And then, suddenly, you're back outside again, starting from zero. That cycle repeated again and again, thousands of times, so the system created movement, but not progress. It gave temporary relief, but no permanent exit. And every time summer returned, the danger returned with it. Because heat doesn't care if you were helped last month. It only cares where you are right now. So here's the real question. If billions were spent on temporary solutions, why didn't they lead to permanent change? And how many people are stuck in this cycle right now? If you want to understand what's really happening behind the scenes, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because what we uncover next goes even deeper into where this money is actually going. Chapter 4, $500,000 apartments while people burn outside. On paper, the solution sounds simple. Build housing, move people inside, and end the crisis. And Los Angeles did exactly that. New apartment-style units were planned and constructed, designed to give homeless individuals a permanent place to live with safety, stability, and access to services. But as these projects moved forward, the costs began to rise. fast. Many of these units ended up costing between $500,000 to $600,000 per apartment for a single person. That means a building with just 100 units could cost $50 to $60 million. And it didn't stop there. Once built, maintaining these apartments also came with ongoing costs: staffing, security, services, utilities, adding thousands more per resident every year. Now compare that to the rental market. In many parts of Los Angeles, a small studio apartment rents for around $1,500 to $2,500 per month, depending on the area. Even in higher-end locations, it rarely crosses $3,000 per month for a basic unit. If you do the math, $600,000 could cover rent for years, sometimes decades, for one person. Yet instead of rapidly housing thousands using existing rentals, the system focused heavily on building new units at extremely high costs. And while these expensive apartments were slowly being completed over several years, people were still outside, sitting on burning sidewalks, trying to survive each day. This is where the gap becomes clear. The solution exists, but it's too slow, too expensive, and too limited in scale. Because while $500,000 unit is being built, hundreds of people are still waiting in extreme heat. And every delay means more time spent outside, exposed, vulnerable. So the question becomes unavoidable. If housing can be provided for far less through existing rentals, why is so much money tied up in projects that take years to finish? And more importantly, what happens to everyone still out there, waiting, while these costly buildings slowly rise? Chapter 5. The system that eats the money before it reaches people. On paper, the money is there. Billions approved, budgets allocated, programs announced. But money doesn't move in a straight line. It moves through a system. And that system has layers, departments, agencies, nonprofits, contractors, consultants. Each layer has a role. Each role takes a share. And by the time the money reaches the street, there's less of it left. This is where things slow down. Because helping one person isn't just one step, it becomes a process. Forms, approvals, assessments, placement lists, waiting queues. Now imagine this in real time. A person needs help today. They need water, shade, a place to stay. But the system moves step by step, day by day, sometimes week by week. And every delay costs something. Because while decisions are being made inside offices, people are outside, in the heat, trying to survive hour by hour. Now pause, because this is where the gap becomes real. Inside buildings, air conditioning runs, meetings happen, budgets are discussed. But outside, there is no system, just sun, just concrete, just survival. And the longer the process takes, the wider that gap becomes. Money continues to move, programs continue to operate, but the outcome on the street stays the same. So the question becomes unavoidable. If billions are moving through the system, why does so little of it reach people when they need it most? And more importantly, what happens in the time between funding being approved and help actually arriving? Chapter 6. Delays that turn into death sentences. On paper, every project had a clear timeline. Permits would be approved, construction would begin, units would be completed, and people would finally move indoors. That was the plan. But in reality, everything moved slower. Much slower. Before a single apartment could even be built, land had to be cleared. Permits had to go through multiple reviews. Environmental checks had to be completed, and community approvals often created pushback. Each step added more time. Months quietly turned into years. And with every delay, the cost kept rising. A project that might have started at around $40 million could easily climb to $60 million or more before it was finished. Not because the goal changed, but because time stretched everything. Now think about what that delay actually means on the street. While a building is waiting for approval, people are still outside. While construction is paused, people are still sitting under direct sunlight. While budgets are being revised inside offices, people are still trying to survive 100+ degree heat. Because the system operates on timelines measured in years, but heat operates in minutes. That's where the real danger lies. Every summer that passes without enough housing ready becomes another season of risk. Temperatures rise, water runs out, and bodies start to fail. Heat stroke doesn't wait for permits. It doesn't care about paperwork. It simply takes over. Now, pause. Because this is where the cost becomes real, not in dollars, but in time and in lives. A delayed project isn't just a late building. It can mean someone didn't make it inside in time. So the question becomes unavoidable. If the solution takes years to deliver, what happens to the people who don't have years? And how many lives are being lost while the system is still trying to catch up? Chapter 7. Who is this system really working for? Follow the money closely, and a different picture starts to appear. Because when billions of dollars move through a system, they don't just disappear. Someone receives them, someone manages them, and someone benefits from them. Contracts are awarded. Construction companies are paid. Administrative teams expand. Consulting firms are hired. Entire programs are built around managing the crisis. And with each layer, more money is spent before it ever reaches the people it was meant to help. On paper, everything looks active, projects moving, budgets increasing, reports being filed. But on the street, the reality feels unchanged. Tents are still lined across sidewalks, encampments continue to grow, and every summer, the heat keeps pushing people closer to the edge. Now think about the scale of this. Billions of dollars flowing year after year should create visible results. Streets should be clearing. People should be moving indoors faster. Emergency situations, especially during extreme heat, should be decreasing. But that's not what's happening. Instead, the system keeps running, expanding, and consuming more resources while the crisis itself continues. This is where the question becomes difficult, but necessary. If the system is receiving funding, continuing operations, and growing in size, but the problem remains, then who is it actually working for? Because for someone like Daniel, nothing about this system feels functional. He doesn't see contracts, he doesn't see budgets, he doesn't see reports. He only sees the same street, the same heat, and the same daily fight to survive. And that gap, the difference between where the money goes and where the suffering remains, is what defines this crisis. So the question becomes impossible to ignore. If billions are being spent every year and the streets still look the same, then who is truly benefiting from this system? And if it's not the people outside, then where is the system really focused? Conclusion: $14 billion and still no escape. A few weeks later, we went back. Same street, same sidewalk, same heat rising from the ground. Daniel was still there. Same tent, same conditions. Nothing had changed. Except one thing. He had an extra bottle of water. That was it. After $14 billion, survival still depends on something this small. A bottle of water, a piece of shade, a few hours of relief. Because the system is still moving, still processing, still building, but not fast enough. And the heat? It doesn't slow down. Another summer is already here. Temperatures rising again. Concrete burning again. Lives at risk again. So now the question becomes heavier. If billions of dollars weren't enough, what is? And more importantly, how many more people have to go through this before something actually changes? Because for Daniel, this isn't a policy issue. It's not a budget discussion. It's survival. Day by day, hour by hour, and one wrong moment in this heat can end everything. So if this story made you think, if it made you question things, share this video, because these stories matter. And in the next investigation, we uncover something even more shocking, a city where empty homes outnumber homeless people, yet the crisis keeps growing. Why? If you've made it this far, you already see the reality. This isn't just numbers. It's people. It's survival. And it's happening right now. If stories like this matter to you, take a second, subscribe to the channel. Because we go deeper into the stories others avoid. Explore more videos on the channel. Because this is not the only city facing this crisis, and this is not the only system under question. Every view, every share, helps these stories reach further. Because the more people see this, the harder it becomes to ignore. And the next story might be even closer than you think.